Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's going to be a little different than what I'm usually doing on my channel, which is pretty cool. I'm going to be trying out the new, where is it? The new L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. What this foundation is claiming is that the finish is natural, it wears up to 24 hours, and it has very high coverage and an air-light texture. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that it has me written all over it. Full coverage, matte. Did it say matte? From what I've been hearing and reading about this foundation, it's saying, a lot of people are saying that it dries matte, and a lot of times that you don't even have to set this foundation with a powder. What it says on the back is that it's Pro Face and Body Foundation, ultra lightweight, seamless coverage. And the pro tip is that you can use everywhere: your face, your neck, your arms, your legs, cover imperfection and even out your skin tone. Now I know that in some displays, and I think that in one of the Walgreens displays, somebody did say that it was showing a picture of a tattoo and like this over the tattoo. I heard that that wasn't exactly like a thing to do, but I think it's different for a drugstore foundation. I was intrigued because, first off, everybody's talking about it, and it's full coverage, 24-hour, even though I don't know anybody that would wear foundation for 24 hours, but if you do, you do you. I like to wash mine off after the evening before I go to sleep, but it's good on a night that, you know, well, you know those nights. But I feel like anything that claims to be full coverage yet feel lightweight on your skin and on your face, that's a positive thing. That's definitely a plus for me. Another reason I was intrigued by this foundation is because, like, I'm pretty sure I can actually say my favorite foundation from the drugstore is the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation. This has been like my go-to foundation. Like, this foundation never fails me. Now this foundation, the shades in this foundation tend to be, this is shade 101. This says Classic Ivory shade 101. It is a little too dark, just like a tad too dark. But once I put my lighter concealer on and blend everything together, my powders, it all comes together. So I'm not too worried about the shade not matching me perfectly, especially when I drag it down my neck and put everything together. It works for me. I'm a little concerned about the shade. This is shade 301 Classic Ivory. When I got home, I will be honest, I did swatch them on the back of my hand, and this one was dark, like way too dark. But I'm hoping that once I blend it in with my beauty sponge and, like I said, put the concealer on and the powder and everything, that it will all come together. Because a lot of times, especially when it comes to drugstore makeup and drugstore foundations, no matter what, it's always too dark for me. It's really hard to find a drugstore foundation to match me exactly. Now, L'Oreal True Match, this is another one of my go-to foundations, but I like to mix this in when a foundation is too dark for me, which, like I said, is a lot of foundations. And for matte foundations, I like to mix in the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation because that shade matches me almost to a T. So those two shades, now in this shade, the True Match, I am in Porcelain, so this matches me pretty good. But instead of me sitting here rambling, let's move on to this video. So I'm first going to prime my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. And now I'm going to take the foundation and pray for the best. So I think I'm just going to put it right on my Real Technique sponge. I also heard that you need to work very quickly with this foundation, which scares me because I like to just pounce and pounce and pounce product around my face. So let's see how this goes.
So
So the color is a tad off, but like I said, if I drag it down my neck and blend it in, I'm hoping that it's not that big of a deal. Now as for the coverage, holy shit. Coverage for days, coverage for days, coverage for days. Okay, so the color isn't terrible. I think I can make it work, especially if I don't use like too much of it. A light layer of it would work for me, even though I don't like using a light layer of anything when it comes to makeup. Okay, I don't hate it. Like, I actually really like it. I'm impressed. As far as like the lightweight coverage or lightweight feel that it says that it has, I think so. I don't feel like, I mean, I've definitely had worse. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I can still see my freckles. I don't have a really thick layer on. Now, obviously, the true test would be to see how it wears all day or all night. But as of right now, just looking at it, I like it. I do. I like it. Honest to God, I do. It claims to have a natural finish. I can see that. I think as long as this foundation, why am I red there? I think as long as this foundation doesn't oxidize on me, I definitely could make this work for sure. Okay, now I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then come back and see if my opinion changes. Okay, so I'm back, and after looking in the mirror and putting all the rest of my products on my face, the concealer, the powder, blush, highlight, all that stuff, I didn't go like as crazy as I usually do in my videos. I kept it more on the natural side. For me, it's natural if I can still see my freckles. But after looking in like a big mirror and doing all the other stuff that I usually do, I like it. The coverage is definitely buildable, even though, you know, it claims to be a natural finish foundation, but you can definitely build this to a complete full coverage. But I didn't put as much on. Like I said, I was more afraid of like the color and the shade of the foundation being too dark. But like I said, after putting lighter concealer on and my powder and everything, like, I like this foundation. I would definitely recommend it. And I think, I'm not sure of the price. You get 1 fluid ounce, which is typically normal, I believe, when it comes to a lot of foundations, especially from the drugstore. This shade works for me, and like I said, this is shade 301, and I'm as fair comes, I think. Like, I am like paper white, snow white, whatever you want to call it. I am white. I'm as white as this umbrella light, I'm pretty sure. Like, I am white, okay? So this to me looked way dark, but at least in person. I don't know how it's coming off on camera. But yeah, I think this works, and I am all for a full coverage anything foundation. So especially when it's cheaper and comes from a drugstore, and it could give the bigger name brands, more expensive brand, a run for their money, I am all for it. So I would personally recommend it. I'm just a consumer, a shopper, a person just like you guys. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just here just being honest, and I would use this and buy this. I don't know if I necessarily like it more than my Pro Matte, but we will see down the road. This is definitely an option to use in turn with all my other foundations, which is always exciting to change it up. I loved doing this video. This was my first time like reviewing a product, just because I wanted to. I thought it would be something cool and different to do on my channel, just because it seems like everybody else was kind of talking good and bad about it, so I kind of jumped on that bandwagon and said, hey, why not? Because I was going to purchase it anyway. I got mine. I know a lot of people have said that it's hard to find, or they've had to go to like different Walgreens or different drugstores to find it, but I actually went into Ulta, and it wasn't with like the normal like L'Oreal or other drugstore makeup. Like in Ulta, like all the aisles of drugstore makeup is here. Like I had to walk around this aisle. It was like on the first aisle, like going this way, going like the opposite direction instead of this way. I don't know, that's how my one Ulta set up. But it was like in its own little area, like its own little setup. So if you're not seeing it with the normal drugstore L'Oreal foundations, it probably has its own little setup because it is a newer foundation. So, but you could always ask an employee. That probably would have helped my situation a little bit and saved me a lot of time. So I'll end this video now. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, or if you want me to do other videos like this, please let me know. I'm willing to spend my own hard-earned money because this is a passion of mine. This is what I love to do as a hobby, and this is what makes me happy and fills my heart, and I don't know, makes my day. So if you want me to do more of these kind of videos, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! I'm going to be trying out the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Color. My trusty and my go-to Rimmel Pro Matte foundation, or not Pro Matte. So I'm first gonna prime my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. The higher, what do you call it? Matte, whatever. My Rimmel matte foundation. But I heard that wasn't like the case to be true. I could give a bigger brand in Sephora. What are you doing? And use, start that over. And give me a thumbs up and like and all that jazz if you like me to do this video. What? That made no sense.